let's talk about head coach Kevin Stefanski and multiple decisions that were made in this Titans game. Let's have a serious conversation about this, a real conversation. But before we dive into that, I want everybody in the comments section to tell me where you're at right now. What should the owner, Jimmy Haslam, do this off season? I wish he could sell the team, but assuming he won't and has to make these decisions, fire Kevin Stefanski, type KS, fire Andrew Berry, type AB, or clean house. Get rid of everybody, because the special teams coordinator, Bubba Ventrone's a mess too. CH if you're cleaning the house. You tell me first. Decision number one that is getting more slack than all of them from Kevin Stefanski this Sunday. A minute left in the game. Shedeur Sanders has just led the football team down back-to-back drives for touchdown after touchdown to give you a chance, to give you life when your special teams had a blocked punt, when Dylan Sampson fumbled the game away, it felt like. And Shedeur's the hot hand, and Stefanski says, nice job, Shedeur. Come to the sideline. You take him off the field for the worst looking two-point conversion attempt of the season, of the franchise history, perhaps. I mean, look at Judkins. It's like he didn't know if he was supposed to pitch it back to Larvidan or not. He ends up, he like almost does, and Larvidan didn't look ready, and then he starts running, turns around, chucks it all the way over to Larvidan after all that. What? Kevin Stefanski, what do you have to say about this call and taking Shedeur off of the field? He says, did you make that call? The reporter said, did you make that call or did Tommy Rees? Stefanski, yeah, I make every call. Reporter then follows up. Shedeur has a hot hand. Why would you take him off of that play? Stefanski, yeah, again, it's a two-point play. Didn't come through on our first two-point play. Got to the second two-point play. We didn't come through, but that's on me. I'm responsible for all of it. It's inexcusable, Kevin Stefanski. No excuses for you making the wrong call, the wrong decision again, week after week after week. How many times has he made a bad idea and the reporters say, what was that about? He goes, yeah, that's on me. Hand up. That's on me, gang. Obviously it's on you. When the hell are we going to get better? Like you say, we're going to have to get better every single week. And guys, you're saying Tommy Rees calls the plays now. I know that. But Stefanski just told you, I'm responsible for all of it. I have the final say on those big-time decisions. It's true. He is still overseeing this. He is still confirming what to do. And that that two-point conversion play late in the fourth, that's supposed to be your best play. The team practices that play every single Friday. Joel Bitonio says, they work on that play. You practice your two-point conversion plays in practice every week. How in the world, unless you have bad coaching, is there a miscommunication and nobody knows what to do on that play then? That moment in that situation, that should be the best possible play you have in the book. It's make or break. It's the play succeeds, you're going to overtime. You don't get the play, the game is over. And there's back-to-back two-point conversions, okay? You just failed one before. So you would think plays from the 2-yard line have a 50% success rate. One of them should work. The second one shouldn't look like this. Unfathomable. Inexcusable. Bad call. So what did Shedeur think of not being out there? Well, he said, if I'm out there on any play, I would wish I would always have the ball in my hands. But that's not what football is. Sometimes you got to run. Sometimes you got to kick. Everything like that. That's the game. That's the most important thing is the ball. So in any situation, of course, you would want to have the ball in your hands. But I know we practiced something and we executed it in practice and we just didn't seem to this day. So I would never go against, what the call was or anything like that. But he said he wanted the ball in his hands. Why wouldn't you? How could he not? When he has 364 yards, when he just led the Browns down the field, he's got 4 total touchdowns on the day, 2 of them in the fourth quarter to give us a chance to force overtime, and you take him off the field while he's red hot, fired up after throwing a perfect ball to Harold Fannin Jr., who goes up and gets it to almost tie the ball game. Kevin Stefanski, you've got some explaining to do. I mean, seriously, this is why people are freaking out. This is why conspiracy theories start. Because of this idiocy in the Browns organization. Seriously. Why take him out there? It doesn't add up. This is why people are saying the Browns are tanking. This is why they're saying they hate Shedeur. They don't want him to succeed. Because you do stuff like this. And seriously, they might be tanking. Like, you're literally not allowed to tank, guys. It's against league rules. Someone needs to look into the Cleveland Browns, because how in the world are you making decisions on a consistent basis that do not give you the best chance to win? To make your number one pick odds go up? They went up because we lost to the Titans. Was that your plan, Haslam, Barry, Stefanski? Because of an awful decision you made to go out and get Deshaun Watson for 3 first-round picks, and you're suffering so much that you need a rebuild? Was that what you wanted all along? Not to win the football game? Look into this shit, NFL. What do you think, Browns fans? Should Shedeur have been on the field for that 2-point try? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Obviously, hindsight is 20/20, but he was the guy that got you down there. The Judkins Wildcat did not work this game. Judkins did not work this game. Averaged less than 2 yards a carry against the Titans. What worked? Shedeur in the passing game, and you took him off at the most crucial part of the game. So I would be typing Y for yes, but I am open to every opinion. So Y for yes, N for no in the comments section. Drop a letter down there right now. Tell me why. Coming up, we got some more bad news, Browns fans. Are you surprised? It's bad. We're going to tell you what it is. But I want to give a shout-out to our friends over at PrizePicks before we do that. It is the holiday season, the best time of year for sports, bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It is all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right. PrizePicks. I love this app. It's a lot of fun. I win money doing it. It makes every game much more entertaining. And because I cover the Browns, it helps me know what picks to make. The coaches told me they have no problem letting Shedeur rip it. So I picked the more on his passing yards, and I was right. And new feature alert. PrizePicks now has early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. And I almost did. Fell just short here. But I knew Cam Ward was going to have more than half an interception. And I knew Shedeur was going to get way more than half a passing touchdown and 124.5 passing yards. I just did not get Judkins' pick correct. Needed more than half a touchdown for Quinshawn, but he was not working this game. If you want to make a lineup like that one and win money, download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. So, sad scene here in the Titans game. You may have noticed Ethan Posick, our starting center, went down. Was carted off the field. Everybody took a moment for him. And Kevin Stefanski says post-game he fears that this is a torn Achilles for Posick. He said, you want to wait for the testing, but it did not look good, and that would mean he's out for the year. A starter, again, on an offensive line that has not been great and has been depleted all year long. I mean, that room as a whole, our depth chart, you had Jack Conklin was in and out of the lineup every single week. Wyatt Teller was out today, part injury, but also part that he was not playing well. Coach's decision. So you didn't have Teller, you didn't have Conklin today. You lost Posick as well. The unit as a whole just banged up, injured, missing starters on the right side. Now your starting center might be out for the year. Like, you didn't draft an offensive lineman in the draft last year. This is a position group you need to load up on and fix, because how are you going to say, let's get 2 rookie quarterbacks and put them behind nobody? Because we didn't draft any offensive linemen. You didn't sign them. You traded for Cam Robinson, and he's a holding penalty waiting to happen. And it hurts Judkins' performance, too, when the line's not holding up. I actually thought they were pass blocking a little better today. There's still moments where Shedeur's pressured and has to try and get out of it, but the run blocking and Judkins, he's He's met in the backfield, felt like every time he got the handoff on first down. 1.9 yards per rush. That is unheard of. That's his worst of the season. 14 carries for 26 yards. That is not a Quinshon Judkins performance. And again, he is still a super talent. There's no doubt about that and what he will be for the Cleveland Browns going forward. It just shows you got to fix the O-line. And the special teams sucked again. Bro, what is Bubba doing? What are we coaching up week to week in that unit? I mean, you open up the game, and the Titans have great field position on back-to-back drives, and they score touchdowns. Like, what are we doing, Bubba? Larvin muffed a punt again. He bounced on it immediately, but, man, no excuse for how bad that special teams unit has been all season long. Giving up punt return, touchdowns, kick return, touchdown. Good field position after good field position. It's losing us football games, and the defense is to blame today as well. The defense is to blame. I've seen them play way better against way better teams. And against the Tennessee effing Titans, you give up 31. I know you could have held them to 3 in a couple more moments. Cam Ward didn't even do much. It was Tony Pollard. Oh, my God. This is not a stat line that any running back should be having against the Cleveland Browns this year. I know we don't have Maliek Collins anymore either, but there's no excuse. It's the Titans. If anyone's actually tanking it, you would think it would be them. But no, we tried to outplay them in a losing match. We tried to out-lose them. The Browns did great at that. Everybody except Shedeur. So, awful all around. Multiple Browns injuries again. We'll keep you updated throughout the week as we get more. But David Njoku left the game. Denzel Ward left the game. Like, it's getting bad. Back-to-back weeks where multiple injuries suffered to Cleveland Browns, and Posick feared to have torn his Achilles. Bad news after bad news, Browns fans. So I just want to get your opinions on this in case you haven't answered it yet, in case you were watching the video. Before we get out of here, tell me again, what should Jimmy Haslam do this offseason? Fire Kevin Stefanski, type KS. Fire Andrew Berry, he's the biggest issue, type AB. If everybody's an issue, clean house, type CH. You let me know in the comments section before we get out of here. I want to see the initials that you type in there because seriously, like, I don't understand how you could defend Bubba having his job right now, folks. Stefanski, though, loves him. Like, this is their guys, and they're not a good coaching staff. And Andrew Berry deserves blame as well. But it seems like most people are mad at Stefanski. So tell me what you would do. That's the situation. That's the state of things today, ladies and gentlemen, for your Cleveland Browns. We appreciate you tuning in because that means you are a die-hard fan. The real ones are still watching right now. Appreciate you guys so much. That's how you know we're die-hard fans. Hit the sub button, and I'll see you next time.